welcome back to the channel. I called this video The Brute, the Wraith and the Detective, as most of you will have already figured out, because that's kind of the traits or the words you'd use to associate, with a particular Batman from a particular movie. And each of these figures features a custom head sculpt by Unreal Toys. I recently reviewed the Robert Pattinson Batman head. Now I want to say this straight away. I am very sorry, folks, when I reviewed this head sculpt that I didn't push the head down all the way onto the connection. I thought I had done, and then Lucky spoke to me, said, try and push that head down a little bit, dude. Getting some comments. So, giraffe neck and such. Fair enough. My bad, everyone. I was just a little bit worried because of the, just the fragileness of custom pieces and all that. So that's what it looks like on the Hot Toys figure, fully pressed down. But yes, sorry about that, folks. And also for the Inart version, when I showed you what this custom head sculpt looks like on the Inart figure, it wasn't fully pressed down either. That was extremely tight. But the Hot Toys one, yeah, that's my bad. I should have pressed it down harder on the review. So anyone on Sideshow Freaks, if you want to just let people know on there, because I'm seeing a lot of people talking about giraffe necks and stuff like that, so let them know that it was just my fault for not pressing the head down all the way onto the neck connection. But that's how it looks, all the way pressed down. Looks great. Absolutely in love with this sculpt, and it's renewed my love for the figure. It made me like the figure more, made me like the movie more. I haven't watched the film since I got the head sculpt, but I intend to watch it very soon again. Just because, yeah, it's just such a cool thing to own such an amazing 1/6 representation of that particular Batman, so I need to watch that film again. So he is the detective, obviously. That's how I posed him. Batman Begins. My favorite is the Wraith. Almost supernatural. An entity. Vengeful Wraith. Also, I just, I knew what the words meant anyway, but I went on Google and just double checked, and they mentioned shadow a lot with the Wraith and creature, stuff like that. And these are all the kind of words that Christian Bale was using back when he was doing his press junkets for Batman Begins in 2005. He literally said when Bruce Wayne puts on this suit, he ceases to be human and he becomes a creature. I think that is very well put across in the design of the Batman Begins look. And of course we have the Brute with Ben Affleck from Batman vs Superman Dawn of Justice, also with an Unreal Toys custom head sculpt. And he is a brute, as we saw in that movie. He had been through some stuff, it was clear that something very bad happened to Robin, and he would have felt very responsible for that, drinking pretty heavily and not pulling his punches. He was really smacking people in BVS. That warehouse scene is absolutely phenomenal. So that's what we're doing here, folks. I'm taking a look at 3 of my most beloved, and I'm happy to say that now about this one. Fair enough, man. Robert Pattinson, he looks good in the suit. I'm looking forward to seeing more of him doing his thing as Batman. It's a different Batman from any of the ones I've experienced in my past, so it's exciting, it's new, it's dark, it's noir, and it feels very true to those kind of graphic novels, the darker stuff. So I'm really looking forward to seeing the Batman 2, part 2, whatever they decide to call it. So enjoy this video, folks. Drop a like on it for me. Thank you for the support. Oh, and just apparently today, because I found out because of the comments, I didn't actually realize the channel had got to 40k subscribers. So thank you, each and every one of you. It's been absolute pleasure. Let's keep it going. Share the channel around, let people, let folks know that I'm out here doing this stuff, and they might find it interesting. Thanks again, folks. Enjoy the rest of the video. And you got the custom nameplate I got from Marvel_makers on eBay. I specifically wanted the BVS nice and tight and small like that at the top, and big chunky, because he's big and chunky. I wanted big chunky font for Batman, and with some weathering and scrapes on it, and Marvel_makers did just a perfect job. I've never actually been too satisfied with the Batman Hot Toys nameplate. it just, I don't feel like I'm looking at the movie font when I look at that. It just, I don't know. I know it's got the accurate kind of bat symbol thingy at the top, but I'm probably going to take that off. It keeps falling off anyway. And then I'll get Marvel underscore makers to do me a really nice big silver and black Batman silver plaque that I can stick on there. I think that will help. It's just not doing it for me. The Batman Begins base is actually from a DC Collectibles statue from back in, like, when the film came out in 2005. It's the statue where he's up in my loft at the moment, but he's kind of moving forward with his cape kind of pulled around him. And it's a nice, like, stone, polished stone, whatever it is. It's really heavy, and it just works perfectly because you've got this beautiful Batman Begins bat symbol here and the perfect font underneath. And I just have the figure standing. He's got a base, but the cape wraps around him. This is always the broody Batman Begins Batman. The Unreal Toys custom sculpt is purposely kind of leaning forward slightly, like he often did in the film. It's actually very rare that you see him standing really upright. He's always kind of slightly leaning in like this. Captures it perfectly. It's fucking sick. Yeah, beautiful job on the Ben Affleck likeness. Got great stubble as well, nice texture. Perfect job painting the eyes, the texture of the cowl, the thickness of the neck. And it's nice and hard at the neck and the surrounding area of it, so you don't have to worry about that flat bit lifting up because it's solid. Just like him. He's solid and beefy and brutish. I mean, you might be alright if you bump into Michael Keaton Batman at night and you haven't done anything too bad. He might just give you a look and let you know next time. But this one? No, best behaviour, I think. Probably the best advice if this guy's lurking around. For fuck's sake with the focus! Why did I go? What was that, Yorkshire? I don't know what it was. Anyway. It is nice being able to turn the head. I mean, you got total freedom of motion. You can turn it up, down, left, right, and really dial in exactly the position you want. And it is cool to be able to do that. I mean, sometimes, you know, if I'm taking like a side profile shot, I wish it was one solid piece. But being able to get these nice subtle little head movements, because he could move in the film. I mean, you see it in the behind the scenes stuff. Yeah, a good bit of movement there, a good bit of motion. Yeah, I like it. It's just so damn beefy. Look at that. His thighs. Hold on a minute. I see punching, that's not going to do anything. That's not going to do anything. You're screwed. Absolutely screwed. I just got his arms down by his sides, purposely not straight down by his sides. I want him to look big. So I turn the arms in, maybe a little too much, but doesn't he just look scrumptious? Look at the heft that's going on here, the meat factor. I mean, and he's got big sod off knuckle duster brass things on his knuckles. You get him? No, dead. Definitely not. I don't see it. I don't see getting a punch in the face from this guy, full on, not holding back, with all that meat behind it, the brass knuckles and all that. Not at all. Death. Certain death. He's killed loads of people. You're a murderer, Bruce. You're a fucking psychopath. I dread to think we only saw a little bit in the movie, but what was he getting up to before that? I don't know. Absolute brute. Side profile's really not too bad though. I mean, you know, there it is. Pretty damn smooth. I mean, I could probably adjust it. You can move it about, but that's not too bad as far as, you know, considering the head and the neck are separate pieces. I'm not getting like a total jarring eyesore. Might not be aligned exactly right now, but man, that is nice. The way the light's hitting the back of his cowl. I'm going to linger on that for a minute. Shout out to my friend. Go follow him, Comic Ross, on Instagram. He has, if you're a Batman Begins figure fan, just go check out some of the stuff. It's ridiculous. He switched out the body to like a TB League Firesin body, so he could do all crazy poses and stuff. There's some insane stuff on here where he's fighting ninjas. Where is it? Oh, sod off. Hang on. Okay, no, come here. Oh, hang on. Turn up the brightness. Come on, what are you? What? Look at that. Absolute badassery. Look at that. Even Ra's in the background there. And Ra's himself, he said you have to become a wraith, a terrible thought, you know, all that stuff. But that's what my mate Comic Cross is up to on Instagram, so I'm just letting you know. Jesus. Right. I'll have to turn this one to the side because that's my favourite, the Batman Begins cowl. The side profile is just very animal-like. I'll just show you the eyes while he's facing forward. Just an amazing job by Unreal Toys on this. I would never be without this sculpt. This conveys everything that I want from my Batman Begins figure. He's naturally kind of leaning forward with his head. That's been sculpted into the neck as well. And the way the brow, the furrow in the brow looks when it's tilted forward. It's amazing. The squinted eyes, he's looking up. A mean look on his face. Do have interchangeable mouth plates with this, but I think I'm always going to go mean. This is just perfection when it comes to Batman Begins for me. I do have the OT Customs prototype, I believe it was. I think it was one of the early ones, but that is also flawless. I have that one on display in kind of more showing the suit with the cape over his shoulders kind of look. But for the kind of really broody cape wrapped around him like this, I always go with the Unreal Toys 2.0. So Batman Begins is always going to be my favorite, you know, side profile. Just very animal-like, creature-like, intimidating. The stuff of nightmares, but also manages to seem kind of heroic looking as well, so perfect balance. But I do love that look from the Batman now. Really did grow on me. I don't know what way it's going to go, but I'd prefer they went even harder with the detective side of it in the sequel. Well, I don't know. I really wasn't keen on that Joker. I don't think that would change with a whole movie with him. I don't think he's supposed to be the next villain anyway, from what I heard, but I just, yeah, that one wasn't for me. And I've tried that scene a few times and, you know, so Penguin was really good, and I know there's a show coming out. I don't think I'm going to have the subscription, whatever it is, streaming service that you need to watch that, but I'll probably grab it once it comes out to buy. But I really like the detective side of these particular movies, so I hope they lean into that and they don't kind of add more action instead. Gave the action more impact in the first film. Really like the moments where Batman and Gordon are just, you can tell they know each other, but you know, he says, I still don't know your name, man, when they're in the car park. Oh, and I love the moment when they're just quietly talking to each other before he slugs him and makes a run for it. It's really good, man, really good. I need to watch it again soon. Damn. beast watches all. The way the light's catching his eyes, it looks nuts. The accuracy of the shape of the cowl though from any angle. Truly awesome work. I think Ben Affleck and Henry Cavill were done wrong. It's a shame. I think Ben Affleck was one of the best Batmans we've ever had. And if he had have made his movie, you know, the original, I think it was like something like Arkham Asylum inspiration for it. You know, the graphic novel is very dark. And that would have been very interesting. And Henry Cavill, you know, such a great Superman. It's a damn shame. AI is getting crazy, so I'm wondering if a few years' time you'd be able to create your own. I mean, obviously there'll be all kind of copyright system, you know, problems, but I always wonder what. I think it was 2 years between the events of Batman Begins and The Dark Knight. So we've been cleaning up Gotham in this suit. And there must have been so many nights that we never saw. And I wonder if AI could kind of create it for us one day and make a little movie. I'd love to see that. I would just love to see more of this suit in action on screen. Any excuse, I don't know, maybe we will one day. I mean, but if they did that kind of thing where they bring someone back for, you know, the memories, nostalgia, they'd probably do it in the Dark Knight suit. I very much doubt they'd go with this suit. But I'd always welcome seeing this again on screen one day. Probably not going to happen, but we'll always have Batman Begins. Very, very special film for me. It's the inspiration for getting this channel going. My Takara Batman Begins all those years ago, and now look at what is in front of me now. It's incredible. It still bugs me to this day that they never put this suit in the Arkham Knight game. I mean, they put the Robert Pattinson one in there, and I don't really use it too much because it just kind of doesn't work with the face that's under. I don't know, something about it looks weird. But I know a lot of people are happy to have it in there, and I'm glad it's in there. But I think I literally remember the night I was doing a night shift at the hotel I worked at, and Rocksteady Games put out a post on Instagram, I guess, asking people which suit would you prefer we put in the game, the Batman Begins or the Dark Knight. And I knew as soon as I saw that, my heart sank. I was outside having a cigarette on my break, and I was looking at my phone and I thought, damn it, there's no way, because I know the masses prefer the Dark Knight suit, and obviously that's the way it went. But I honestly believe that if it wasn't for this film, maybe those Arkham games wouldn't have happened, because the film came out in 2005. The first Arkham game, I think it was 2008. I'm guessing there, but I know it was a good couple of years, and I know this game, you know, his tactics for taking out criminals certainly inspired some of the takedowns, and many other aspects of the gameplay and the look of it all. So I think it deserves to be in the, you know, the skins section, you know, where you can put this on, because I would play that game all over again happily if I could wear this suit doing it. You can go on YouTube and look at the mods people have done on the PC version where you can wear this suit, and it looks incredible. You can see them playing through the game with it. But it's never too late. I very much doubt it will happen, but I always hope it does. I'd love to play Arkham Knight wearing this. So once again, before I wrap up, folks, that is what the Unreal Toys custom Robert Pattinson head sculpt looks like, fully pushed down onto the Hot Toys neck connection. That is also an Unreal Toys custom collar as well. So again, sorry about that, folks, in the review. I've pushed it down fully now, and that is exactly what you're going to get. Check out the review if you haven't seen it. But just bear in mind I'm a complete Rodney and didn't push the neck fully onto the body. Now he's the detective one, but I wanted to put him back on the shelf with his kind of fists up a little bit. I might raise them up a bit higher, because you can with this figure. You can put him in some good fighting poses and not really worry, because it's all pretty good as far as the outfit materials go, and feels like a pretty safe bet to pose. Have some fun with him. Alright folks, that's it from me. Thank you again for getting the channel up to 40,000 subs. That is amazing. And let me know how you're doing in the comments. And check out the review on the custom head sculpt. Remember, I didn't push it down all the way onto the neck like an absolute Egypt, so bear that in mind when you're watching it. So much work went into that video, I can't scrap it and do a new one. I mean, I can do this video and let you know that I screwed up the neck thing, but a lot of work went into the review, so I think it still is a good representation of how good the custom head sculpt is here. I mean, all three custom head sculpts by Lucky at Unreal Toys. Just a phenomenal artist, coming a long way. I mean, that is incredible right there. Absolutely stunning. And then the Batman Begins. Perfection. Absolute perfection. And now with the Robert Pattinson sculpt. And it is the prototype, don't forget that folks, so he'll probably do a few tweaks. And I see people mentioning about how the head sculpt is expensive, but I can relate because I do the masks, the Michael Myers masks up there, the rehauls. That's one of my 2018 rehauls. That's my favorite one. That's my personal copy. That's my baby. I may very well get buried with that one. Well, yeah. It's a work of art. I can't believe I did that. I've never been able to do it that good again. I've tried, but something took over me and worked through my hand to produce what you see on the shelf right there. Still trying to sell that Homelander, by the way. No one wants him. And yeah, so I was saying about the whole price of custom head sculpts. I can relate because I felt bad charging what I was charging for my masks, even though I was a lot cheaper than the competition. And because you have to, I mean, the time that goes into it. I mean, one of these masks would take me about, I can rush it in 2 days and get it done and it'll look great, but I'd prefer with something like this about 3-4 days. I need to spend a good amount of time on the hair, not just applying it but styling it and getting it to look old and nasty and all the weathering and all that kind of stuff. So I can relate to Lucky, painting these. The paint jobs are incredible. I mean, the detail in the eyes, the realism, the skin texture, all that stuff. It takes time to do that as accurately as he's doing it. So you're paying for the artist's time, and I can relate to that because of the masks. It takes a long time out of your life to produce just one of these, to paint it and get it looking just right. So I know it's expensive. I've fallen into all that myself. I've spent a lot of money. Most recent thing was the Howling Werewolf over there. That was pretty much like $1,000. May not be a lot of money to some people out there with the real well-paying jobs and stuff, but for someone like me, spending that much on a figure was not the most responsible thing to do. But I had to have it. I had to have Howling Werewolf. That Joker head sculpt on eBay, that wasn't cheap, but worth every penny. I mean, that was the price of a figure. You can get figures cheaper than this head sculpt. But it was the mob meeting scene, and I had to have it because that's the look I've always wanted. It's been a while, but I can't remember the price, but the head sculpt was, with the paint job and all that herring included, because it was just a raw sculpt, and then you get it painted and haired by a separate artist. That was expensive. The coveralls he's wearing were expensive. Those ones, the H2s, they were very expensive. Those coveralls, they were really expensive. But yeah, worth every penny. I've got some quarter scale custom coveralls I'm not even using. I got 2 of those, a 78 and a 2018. I paid a lot of money for those, and I'm not using them at the moment. It's ridiculous. Expensive coveralls here as well. with the Rob Zombies, so it all adds up, and the knives, all the weapons, even little scalpels. You want the real deal, like a metal one, so you got to get that done. That's Shadow Fergo on Instagram, does all the weapons. But yeah, the Howling Werewolf, I think that is the most expensive figure I ever paid for, you know, like, it was, yeah, it was pretty much, well, it wasn't $1,000, it was more like, what was it in total, 800 and something, I don't know. I wanted to get it here fast, so I paid for the speedy shipping from America as well, from Mr. David Eakins on Instagram. Yeah, that's the most expensive thing I ever bought. That was $1,000. Catwoman. That was $1,000. Paid that off in installments years ago at Secret Compass. Don't know if they're still around, but yeah, man, the best endo skull you can get, made from the same molds from Stan Winston's studio for the T2 movie. That is the realest of the deals right there. Gap in the teeth, the eyes light up, chrome plated, always cold to the touch and heavy as hell. Oh yeah, the Catwoman Adam Hughes head sculpt, that was separate, that cost money. The outfit was separate, custom made, that cost money. So I can relate to what it's like when you find out the price of something that's custom and you really want one, then you're thinking, should I do it? I can't really spend that much, that's the cost of a figure. I've done it myself many times. Little upgrades and stuff, like the eyes on the Amazing Spider-Man 2, that was like $60 plus shipping. So yeah, all adds up. Custom Joker there. A friend of mine gave me a good deal on the head sculpt. He paid a lot more, I think, and I mean it was still expensive. It was like in the 200 something kind of area, I think. So I can't imagine what it was costing before, but I mean these custom heads, they do cost money, but you can see why. The amount of time it must take to produce this, you know, someone made this from scratch, and I totally get it. I totally understand the price. It's just, it is what it is. You either sell some stuff that you have to get the money for it, or you have to stay away from this side of the hobby, because it can get very expensive and quite addicting when you start putting together something and you see it come into life and finally get it the way you want it on the shelf. It's a nice feeling. That's another one of the most expensive things I bought. The Shin Godzilla X Plus transparent version, so he looks like he's glowing from within. That's not a light up feature, that's just how it looks. It's absolutely amazing. I love me some Godzilla. I've still got these heads, by the way. I've got loads of stuff for sale. That's a Ryan Harper H2. Got a Battle Damage Catwoman. Got early Ryan Harper 78. Still not sure if I should sell the unmasked Michael Myers from Kills. Got two of them, but I don't know which one I want to keep. The one with the neck or the one without a neck. Still got that awesome Heath Ledger Joker head as well. That's for sale. I don't want this to turn into... This is going to be a long video, folks. It is what it is. Yeah, Rodney. Yeah, beautiful head sculpt there. Available. No one wants it. Yeah. Are you crazy? Look how good I look. Look at my hair, baby. Look at my lovely hair. Want me. Anyway, you might want to buy that. It's not that expensive. I'll lower the price a little bit. That is a beautiful head sculpt, though. Look at the smudge. It's like nice and nasty. Got the One's Customs Blackest Eyes that was rehaired. That's a classic. That's a piece of history, figure history. I don't know why I'm thinking of selling it. I should just keep it and put it in one of those little, like the Inart cases. Just preserve it and just keep it. I gotta keep that. Come on. There's loads of stuff I can sell. Why would you sell that, Dean? You absolute... Oh, it's teetering on the edge. Getting back on there. Yeah, I think I'll keep that, to be honest. It is a piece of 1/6 history, that one. That's way before we had all the options we have today when it comes to Michael Myers in 1/6 scale. You got Trick or Treat Studios, Sideshow Collectibles, 3-0. I've done some stuff. Anyway, you got your choice now. Can't wait to see the Trick or Treat Studios Rob Zombie 2007 1/6 scale figure, apparently on a 13-inch body. It's gonna be big, just like this one. He's custom. A lot of them are custom. That's another completely custom figure. There's some absolutely incredible stuff. Anyway, yes, the werewolf. Actually not the most expensive thing I've bought, but the most expensive custom thing I've bought. The Prime 1 Catwoman, she was the most expensive. She was a clean 1,000. Must have been out of my mind. It's beautiful, it's absolutely beautiful, but I don't know. It's just a big heavy problem. No, I love it. It's beautiful. I wouldn't be without it, would I? I don't think so. I think it just needs a better spot. Sometimes you just need to move something around. Like if I put this in a completely different part of the house and it was in different lighting, in a different setting, I'd fall in love with it all over again. And you can interchange arms and head sculpts and change the pose, all sorts. Don't know, I don't regret that one bit. That right there is the Arkham Knight Catwoman by Prime 1. So, you know, I know how it is. I sell some stuff, I get some money together, and I try and buy the thing that I really want. It's the thing about having a collection like this over 17 or 18 years now. There is quite a bit of stuff I can reach to. When I want to get something new, I can sell something and try and fund the next thing that I'm after. Anyway, just an old git waffling on. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know how you're doing in the comments, folks. Genuinely, I hope you're all doing well, and big love to all of you. Thanks very much. See you soon. Take it easy. Bye-bye.